have been covering this for a while. How there is this disconnect when it comes to the Zionist state and everyday people and the people who support the Zionist state and the message that they put out there. So I don't know Jonathan Scaradati, but he is emblematic of the very problem of I have to feel safe and I am willing to make the sacrifices. This is why I say liberal Zionism is so much worse, because it ushers back in decorum politics where it becomes easier to sell empire. Right now, it's very hard to sell it, and that's why empire is collapsing. However, men like this are why this is becoming such a problem.
Things aren't really that bad for Jews. You're just exaggerating. It's just one school that disinvited an MP from speaking about anti-Semitism. Don't be alarmist. It's just one terror attack in one single synagogue. It was just one lunatic loser jihadist. Don't overdo it. These things happen in big cities. Just 2 people died. It's just one football match in one city where police lied about threats to Jews to ban them from coming. Hey, safety first. Who needs Maccabi fans causing tension? It's just one Israeli restaurant with mobs outside it. Just once, or maybe twice, or, well, a few times, but just a few. It's just the BBC's best paid presenter comparing us to rats. Gary Lineker's got opinions. It's not like he got an award for it, or... oh wait, he did? It's just Twitter banter. It's just free speech. It's just Dawn French mocking our slaughter, kidnapping and rape as a bad thing. Comedy's subjective, lighten up. It's just one rabbi murdered in the UAE, a random act in a peaceful emirate. They finished with Muslim extremism there. It's just Bondi Beach, with 15 gunned down at a Hanukkah gathering. It's just a terror plot to kill as many Jews as possible in Manchester with automatic weapons. Besides, they didn't manage. It was just a plot, just a stockpile of ammunition, just 2 guys, well, 3, just a one-off. It's just an ear bitten off in Greece, just one Syrian migrant who likes the taste of Jewish flesh. It was just free Palestine, just damn Israel, just...
Yes, damn Israel. And damn you for continuing to push this. The saying goes, Zionists will tell you that everyone hates them, but they'll never tell you why people hate them. They'll never explain the reason. And even if you took out the primary driver, which is the genocide in Gaza, the genocide that is now being attempted in southern Lebanon, endless war with Iran and others, there is something to be said for a country that dictates our foreign policy, and in many cases, our domestic policy. You saw earlier in the live stream how we covered a state senator's daughter who is confused beyond recognition how her own father capitulates to a foreign country when he's a state senator in New Mexico, no less. But you see, because this man presents himself as a pseudo-intellectual, well, actually an intellectual, but he's a pseudo-intellectual, excuse me. They think that they're garnering sympathy because, as Jen often likes to point out, one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. These people that are doing what they're doing are fighting against the Zionist state. So I don't disagree with what they're doing, because I understand that when you have the boot on the neck of innocent people, that they're going to fight back. That's being on the side of justice. And sometimes justice causes blood to be spilled. We all know that. This is another great example of that. But this is, again, a major disconnect that these people have. They refuse to see why people don't like them, because they don't see people like us as being on their level. We are just Goyim in their eyes. We are vermin in their eyes. We are not on the same level. We should just accept that this is the construct that they've created. But they hate the fact that it's falling apart.
I am Hamas. Oh. It's just 50 Jewish children thrown off a plane in Spain, just a stupid stewardess, just a little dip.
Did you not see the way that the Jew children were acting on that plane? Did you not see the ruckus that they were causing to such an extent that that's why they were thrown off? Yeah, but you're not going to point that out. See, I remember that story. That was from 2 years ago, but I remember it very well. And you, of course, are going to create a narrative that isn't true You just make up stuff as you go. So once again, only telling one side of the story. Kids were kicked off the plane. Yes, they were kicked off the plane. Why? Yeah, we're not worried about that. No, we can't talk about that part.
Diplomatic spat, just this once. It's just being surrounded and hounded at an Italian service station. Those Italians are passionate drivers. It's just serial beatings of a rabbi in France. One guy, yes, multiple times. Maybe he should avoid that neighborhood. It's just a Jewish girl gang raped by Muslims in France as revenge. An isolated incident. Don't generalize. Don't be so Islamophobic. It's just 2 killed outside the Jewish Museum in Washington.
Yes, 2 people that were supporters of the state of Israel who unfortunately ended up getting what they had coming because of the initiative that they support, which is genocide. I do not sympathize with people that want to make a living off of people being butchered. And that is what those 2 were doing. Look at the event that they were at. Again, the complete cognitive dissonance when it comes to the Zionist state. They want to pretend like there isn't a reason behind why they're being targeted. And again, in our country, we have to deal with the fact that people like this, remember, where was this event? This was in Washington, D.C., with very powerful federally elected officials at the event. He just wants to pretend like he doesn't know what's going on. But they all know what's going on. They're just lying.
America has crime everywhere. Those Americans love their guns. It's just a synagogue firebombed in Boulder, Colorado. Protesters got carried away. Flames are symbolic, by the way. It's just cancellations of Jewish musical and comedy performances in Bristol and Edinburgh. Freedom of speech? Well, yeah, but not for them. They're extremists. Well, Jews. It's just crowds of people calling for the murder of Israeli defense forces at Glastonbury.
Death to the IDF. They are a genocidal organization that attacks women and children and mostly unarmed people. They don't engage in actual combat. You see, they look for the quickest road to victory. And that victory involves them hurting innocent people. We're going to get to that one in a minute because I've got a follow-up to this. But this is a prime example of just that. You're defending the IOF? Yeah, that's what he's doing.
They were probably high or something. It's just synagogues attacked in several G7 countries, just in Canada and France and Germany and America. It's just a firebombed synagogue in Australia, just a protest outside St. John's Wood Synagogue in London, just an angry mob shouting in an old lady's face in the street, "How many babies have you killed?"
Well, I can tell you that the best estimates are at least 250,000 to 500,000, in case you're wondering. I know you guys like to come up with these heavily suppressed numbers, but you know, the one thing I want to say when it comes to the reported numbers of how many women and children have been killed, this is important. They're only counting the bodies that they've been able to count for in the morgue. The amount of bodies that are buried under rubble that haven't been accounted for. How long do you think the average person can go without water? They can't go a week. It's 2.5 years. And there are hundreds of thousands of people who are not accounted for. So to say that this is so much worse than what we've been told. Remember, certain massacres throughout history, they don't get reported on, in some cases, till decades later. Many people didn't know what was going on in Soviet Russia and Mao China. Many people didn't know what was going on in the concentration camps in throughout Eastern Europe with Nazi Germany. There's a lot of things that people don't know about, not in the moment. They have a sense of how bad it is, but they don't actually know for sure. How many people know what's going on in the Congo right now? The Congo is another thing we're going to talk about on Monday. That's a good one. But again, the intellectuals don't have to worry about what's actually going on the ground because they pay others to do it. No, that's good. Yeah.
It's just Jews afraid of NHS treatment in Britain, but the system's overwhelmed for everyone. It's just an Israeli man kidnapped for being Jewish in Wales. It's just an Israeli spat on in Dublin. It's just Jewish children abused on Oxford Street. It's just Keir Starmer and a few of the cabinet delighted to welcome an anti-Semitic Egyptian guy to the UK. For good. Anyway, it's just the Tories who gave him British citizenship. It's just an Egyptian student plotting to blow up the Israeli consulate in NYC. It's just celebrities wearing pins of red hands dripping in Jewish blood. It's just a crocheted watermelon, free Palestine. It's just jihad in the peaceful sense. Just globalise the Intifada, but not that kind with the bombs, the other ones.
Okay. The fact that he is saying globalize the empanada, but he's not saying what it actually means. This is Hasbara. This is what they do. They can't tell the truth. It's not possible. If they were to tell the truth, their ideology would be dead. It already is dead. They just don't know it yet. And we're going to get to that shortly. He is still spewing this nonsense. The only reason that Hamas exists is because of the Intifada in 1987. But again, he's not going to tell you this. This pseudo-intellectual who's well-read, who believes that his life is worth more than yours, is telling you why you are just anti-Septic. But really, it's just anti-Jewish. Nevertheless, he's got a little more to say.
This big bloody Ben with "From the River to the Sea" projected on it. It's just maybe better to take off your kippah when you leave the synagogue. It's just maybe we shouldn't get together in the street to celebrate Hanukkah. It's just that mezuzah on your door, maybe put it on the inside. It's just time to think of where to go, just in case. It's just that Britain, Australia, America, Europe might not feel the same if all the Jews don't feel safe. It's just really none of this seems quite right.
You do not have the right to feel safe. You have the privilege of feeling safe, but it is not a right. And I am going to keep pointing that out from now until hell freezes over.